Solidarity.
All right, so we're talking about physical shape. You know,
No, we're talking about Apu, but go on.
But you know, spring is here, summer is here.
Problematic.
People always have the summer bods, right? So that's
I've
rad.
never,
Hey,
I've never once had one.
I've been working on mine, not a lot. Not hard enough.
You've eaten 70 puffs tonight.
I'm
Yeah,
not a
dude.
dad, but I have the bod of one.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Who are you?
I'm Mo Con.
I'm Apu.
I'm Peas, and I find Simpsons references lame and outdated.
I thought you were MK Ultra.
And
All right,
Fantastic strain.
and I'm
Fantastic strain of
Eagle,
weed.
and I'm stuck with these idiots for the next 3 hours.
Also,
This is all your fault, by the way.
well, hopefully we won't go 3 more hours. Because that means we
No.
finish at 11:15.
We're looking to finish around like 10:30 tonight. All right, so let's dive into it, guys.
No,
5A,
relax there.
5B.
Oh man, I can't say I can't say the joke. I can't. If you think though, it's someone who's obsessed with finishing early.
Oh yes.
I was gonna say good night.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
But listen,
Rich.
tonight's not about finishing early. It's about going, taking your time, making sure your partners, as their clients, are satisfied.
Yes, of course. All right, let's talk about
I'm
the
gonna
week
be
that
satisfied
was
tonight.
in 5A and 5B. I'll start with the first game that I saw, which is a complete
Was it?
mess. Player recognition against Thundercats. Okay, so first off, Thundercats, they're a weird group of people. I know they're the former Vikings team. They lose 42-20 to the player recognition, who I think were going to implode on each other, but somehow win the game by 22 points. I don't know how they did it, but they did it nonetheless.
Which keeps them in the playoffs, by the way.
Yeah, which it does, but I don't think they realize that, though, right? I mean, but I'm quite disappointed in Thundercats because the wealth of experience they've had on this team, I know Jean-Laurent Vallée on this team, quite disappointed in how they've kind of somersaulted in the wrong direction and now get outclassed by a team that was completely disorganized from the get-go.
Okay. I agree.
I'm insane.
Oh, it's just some of my thoughts. No, but seriously, I agree with you.
Amazing analysis by Simon Dagenais.
I was thinking about it, but yeah, I agree that player recognition should not be. In my opinion, the way they've played this season, they're not a playoff team. They were they were sort of scrambling most of the time to sort of figure out what to do. Thundercats have been around FPF for, I think it's their 6th season. They just changed names. They were Vikings before.
Yeah.
So it's no excuse to lose to a team like that. The score should have been flipped. They should have won 42-20 considering they have the experience. They know what they're doing.
sure.
They have good players. Yes, like you said, they don't have Jean-Laurent Vallée, but that's also the reason why they're 5-9-4.
Yeah.
Right? So I think the team as a whole, but they've been downplaying the last few weeks. Like they start off okay, but they haven't been playing well recently.
Other games that caught your attention, gentlemen.
I caught the Bruins game.
Okay.
That was a big one for them.
Yeah. Bruins win 32-20.
Against
It was a
Doughboys.
weird game, and the Bruins looked bored.
So Doughboys didn't play well.
But Doughboys haven't played well.
Dope boys are not that good.
But they kept trying to run the same 3 plays over and over and over.
Well, welcome
And
to
it-
FPF. Everyone does that.
I mean, but it wasn't working.
Yeah.
It's like yes, we do that, but it works. It wasn't working. They kept trying to throw deep and getting PD'd. Not a lot of interceptions, sadly.
But there's a weird pacing to the Bruins that they went up early. They were in control, and then they kind of got bored and Doughboys caught up, and then like okay, let's get serious, and then they just closed out the game.
That's what it was.
But
Yeah.
the problem is that like come playoff time, you won't be able to do that. So
Well,
that kind of is a little worrisome.
Yeah, but I think they just want to challenge themselves, right? I mean, you're right.
Well, then
They're just
maybe
bored.
not like stack a team with Zach Zorn in Division 5B.
Yeah, but Zach
Ayo.
5A
Zorn.
rather.
I think
Ayo.
if it was if it was Gab Wiseman, Zach Zorn, and like 4 other nobodies, they would have still been the dope boys.
So you're saying B-ballers.
Yeah, pretty much. But
Got you.
but I just like dope boys are not the team that they once were. They'll never be that team again.
But they also don't look like right. I remember Doughboys from 2 years ago where every play mattered.
yeah,
now
our Rizzy.
Now they don't really care anymore.
No.
Like they show up, they play, they seem to have fun. Like it wasn't like, but at the end of the day, they're not as competitive as they used to be.
No.
Maybe it could be the old boys could be a fun Division 6 team next season or Division E team in the spring.
Tough Lungs big win, 25-22.
Against Gakajou, yeah.
Yes.
I score kept that game.
You did?
Yes, I was there with you.
Oh, yes, you were,
You know
yes.
when we butt heads?
Yes, you did. I score kept that game.
Maybe.
I scored that game. So
Concussions.
okay. So
Oh,
for
right.
those-
I scored Easy W's game.
yeah. For those who don't know, so Wednesday night.
No,
Monday night, yes, because you were replacing Alex Holloway. So Monday night, I'm working field 3, Simo's working field 2. And Tough Lungs, I think it was, gave us the football
Kakaju.
game. Kakaju gave me the
Man, your
football.
memory's foggy.
We put the
It's
football
the
in
head
the middle
collision.
of the field, of separating the fields 2 and 3. Quarterback comes, hey, can I get the football? So Simone and I, we're both being nice. We both bend down to get the football, and bam, our heads hit each other. And we're like, oh, man, what just happened?
Wow, that was a big bang, man.
You know what's less interesting than referee stories? Scorekeeping stories.
Yeah, struggle's real.
Yeah,
Okay.
the struggle was real. I actually spat blood after.
What?
Yeah, I spat blood.
You spat blood?
Yes.
So you're saying you're soft.
Well, because I bit my lip when I hit his,
Yeah.
hit his head. And,
Why do you even have a lip?
Why do I have
Soft.
a lip?
Soft.
So anyway,
Soft.
I mean, I'm a human.
You don't have to bleed when you're aroused.
Yeah. That's a choice.
So anyway, like Tough Lungs. Again,
Okay, so speaking of dog lungs, yes.
I just thought they just kind of toyed around a little bit. I thought they could have blown this
No,
game.
they
out.
almost lost the game.
They almost lost the game, which they shouldn't have. They should have won this game by at least 10 plus points, and they ended up winning by 3. And I'm a little bit surprised. Matthew Lerner again. He just has these weird incompletions and throws like a bad INT every so often, as he did on this game here. And Benjamin Reed, as he looks the part of a quarterback, but he doesn't play that part as well.
But the Kakaju as a whole, like they're good. Individually, they're very good, right? They all look like good football players. There's a lot of good talent on his team. Like Olivier Claveau doesn't have a lot of stats, but he's a good football player. Problem is, I've seen this from the teams that they were before. Like they weren't called the Kakaju before. They were the Browns of Boucherville.
Yeah.
And but the problem remains that there's a lot of talent. They know what they're doing on a football field, but not in FBF. The play calling is not efficient.
Right.
They're calling the wrong plays and they're making the wrong reads. And when you're playing against Benjamin Reed, who looks like a Division 2 quarterback,
He also stares down his reads.
Yeah.
And what happens is, like, so in tackle, it doesn't matter a ton because there's space, but in FPF, the defenders are so close to everything, it takes nothing for them to just read where you're going and jump the route.
So usually what happens is he's going to stare down the first read. If it's not there, then the second thing that he does is beat the rusher. But the problem is he's staring down the first read, so his feet are not moving. The rusher comes in fast, and he's got no time to react. So if the first read's not there, he's either throwing it away to nobody, or which
Getting
sometimes
sacked.
is an interception, or takes a sack, which really hurts their offense.
Absolutely does.
If he was able to go from 1 to 2 to the rusher afterwards, then this team would score 35 points a week.
I caught a little bit of the Punishers speakeasy game. I was only there for the first half, which is interesting because it looks like all the scoring was in the first half, question mark.
They just forgot to press second half.
Okay.
Scorekeeper just forgot.
I believe that was on Mokon's field.
No, it wasn't.
No.
It was not. It was on
That
field.
was
two,
on Marc-André Delagne's field.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was. Okay.
Replacing
On,
Stefano.
Man, we need
Berardi.
Stefano back bad.
Yeah. Our boy, Steph.
But
On
so
vacation.
I like this. Adamo Yadaluka using all of his weapons.
It's
I
about
saw
time, man.
Alessandro Barazzoni making a great touchdown catch.
It's about time. Like he has the right
It's posted on
weapons.
his Instagram story, so you have a little bit of time
Really?
just to watch it.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I feel every week we talked about Punisher saying they're downplaying. They have a lot of talent, but they keep throwing to 2 guys. And now that he's actually able to throw to multiple different guys, they managed to tie the speakeasy. Listen, the tie doesn't help them.
No.
No.
Are they officially out of the playoffs?
I think they are, yeah.
I think they
Last
are
time
with the
I
tie.
checked.
We'll get to that
Yes.
later in the show.
Nice. But
That's
yeah.
what they call a teaser in the
Tease.
biz. It's like you can see the outline of the nipple, but you don't see the nipple.
Oh, so Saibu.
Yeah, Saibu works well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a teaser.
Black Knights, ECW. Great game, man. Great game for ECW. Bad game for Black Knights.
Because
So ECW
Well,
really.
they get in Black Knights, I think, now.
Yeah, they are.
even despite Mo's
But
protests,
But
Yeah.
ECW, honestly, like they toyed with them. They could do whatever they wanted. Jeremy White had a field day with that defense. Ran for 2 touchdowns. One of them was a 40-yard, man. He just ran the whole
18
field.
for 19
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
Jeremy
Foolish.
White.
And he had 2 rushing touchdowns. One of it was a 40-yarder. He just burnt the whole team. He juked everybody. It was great. Black Knights, it's one of those games where if they start off in a close game and they're able to stay focused in the game,
Which
Nope.
they can.
they'll play well. But when the game slowly starts to get away from them, they gave up.
Well, they unravel. And
Quickly, too.
They, at
So-
the time when he asked me, hey, do we qualify for playoffs? I go, how many wins you're at? We're 5-5. I go, I'm not sure. 6 will be more than enough. 5 can put you in the unknown.
Stéphane
region.
Larosière had a bad game. He kept throwing the same patterns, and the guy was not open. He was forcing throws. He was trying to get something to work.
But they're stubborn with their offense, though. They think they can out-jump anyone for the football.
You look at it, you're like, okay, so it's a four-year CIS quarterback throwing to an all-Canadian receiver. We should win Division 5. But it's not working.
No.
Because, again, that doesn't work if you're just airing out
Because
balls.
it works.
It's low percentage.
It works sometimes.
Yeah.
It's going to work 5 times in a game, not 25.
So Brocasian wins over No-Show 57-39. Big win for Brocasian.
Huge win for Brocasian.
Huge. No-Show showed up, but were no-shows on the field. Justin Saratola had a pretty good game. Probably his best game as a quarterback.
Yeah.
I really thought
He's getting better, man.
He's involved, right, for that division that they're in. I mean, obviously it's not Christian Saratola, but mind you, Christian's a little bit involved.
Yeah, but they wouldn't have fit in Division 5.
Yeah, but
no.
also Christian Sarantolo is a ridiculous athlete and a very nice piece of a receiver. So if ever you hate your brother, peace is here.
I'll tell you one thing, though.
I'll take him.
Christian Saratola, we'll talk about in the Div 2 podcast, a tease. Let's just put it this way. He almost got his boxing gloves on for his own teammate.
Oh,
Which one?
interesting.
Christian Saratola. Christian
Tease.
Saratola.
Don't.
Oh, tease.
Yeah.
Side move.
Sorry.
Anyway, Brocasian, big win
Got
for
it.
them. I think it really sent a relief watching them play, saying, hey, we finally broke out with a big offensive output. Mind you, No-Show was a complete mess. Any team run by Eddie Lee or anyone with Eddie Lee in that team in lower divisions, not a good mix.
Well, Eddie Lee, first of all, he's not there. Like he missed
was
half
there.
the games.
I mean, you're blaming Eddie Lee. I decide, you know what? I'm going to blame Alexis Dubois. Just because.
Just because.
But the fact that you have
It's his
Alexis
fault.
Dubois and Eddie Lee, two of the most polar opposite characters in FPF, on one team, shows you how bad the mix is of that.
Diversity,
is
bro.
it-
Diversity makes us all
How
stronger.
is this run? So one game that I caught my attention this week, Takeover beats the process.
Yeah.
It's probably the only, like it's not. I don't want to say the only team, but it's a good playoff.
That's a good game.
Teaser. It's most likely going to be like the semi or the quarterfinals in that conference.
Yeah.
The process, the Takeover. Takeover played really well. Vincent Benjamin had a monster game. For Willpower, only to have 29 yards.
But he's been featured less on the takeover offense than he has in years past.
But it also shows like the process is able to take away one or two guys
Mm-hmm.
and beat us with the rest. And this is what it was. And like the process is a very strong team, and Andrew Lambert's been playing well. That's what they do though. They'll take away your number one guy, beat us with the rest, but the problem is that the rest is like guys like Vincent Benjamin.
Yeah.
So I mean, okay.
Okay, so we'll now dive into the playoff scenarios right now. Quickly here. Le Gros Coq, number 2 seed.
He wasn't ready.
You got to filibuster more.
I know,
Yeah,
I know.
You have
No,
to
I'm talking about the standings before. I said we'll get into the playoffs, so it sets you up.
Oh, nice.
Why don't you start producing?
Yes, instead of eating
Or
those balls.
prepping, or do anything but milk your
Like,
coffee.
he's so pissed.
It's on the screen, Mo.
I know.
It's on the screen.
I know. I can't see the screen.
Are we starting with 5A or 5B?
5B.
But
5A. 5A.
Le Gros Coq, right? They
Lego cut. Let's go.
What division is fucking Lego Cock? Jesus Christ.
You should know this. You work for the league.
200 teams. 4 guys.
It's Division 5.
Which one?
You pick one.
So that means he doesn't know.
All right, like Le Gros Coq.
5B, bro.
They have 2 games in hand, though, against Takeover, who've played their 10 games, 8-2. Does LGC catch Takeover for the overall one in Conference B with 2 games?
Well, what are
to
the
go?
games?
I would have said yes, but Takeover just beat the process, which I assume would have been a loss for Takeover. So now they're 8-2. Les Gros Coq are 7-1.
The games they have left: Honey Martin, top 5 team in the conference, and third level
For who,
Threat Liverman.
For Les Gros Coq, Takeover's done.
Okay, take over then. Okay.
Yeah, Takeover.
Lego Cock play okay.
Honey Martin,
Honey Martin.
top 5
It's
team,
tough.
and then they have Threat Level Midnight last game. of
And
the year.
they'll win that one.
And it's back-to-back games.
So
That's kind of
Even-
exciting. I'm
even
kind of
if-
happy that happened this
even
season.
if they do,
Back-to-back
which
games.
Les Gros Coq, I think they got to finish 9-1, which is insane. I don't think it really matters because Takeover is going to be the second seed. Like 1 or 2, it doesn't. Right, like it's not the end of the world. Also,
Yes.
what? I'm sorry. I'm looking at the preview and the colors don't make sense.
You think they don't make sense.
No.
You think they don't make sense.
Well, everybody but you, really.
Jesus.
Also, if there's anybody else who's colorblind in FF, please raise your hand or say something. Anybody else?
You're not
Beyond
alone.
peas.
Support, bro.
But that's the thing.
Solidarity. We started to show solidarity. We're gonna get through together.
Is there
Okay.
Together
so-
we're better.
So we're going to do the 5B playoffs first to get things underway
Okay, so
here.
5B. Here you go.
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes.
5B playoffs. Here we
Okay.
go. All right, so 5B playoffs. The right now in Conference A.
These two graphs don't work. Neither of them is right. The colors
Okay,
are not
so
right.
we'll go based off what we know.
Well, okay, so it's more confusing than anything else, because
Dave. Thanks,
I mean,
Dave.
we
Listen, man,
sent.
it looks good.
Here it is, right?
Wait,
A-Town, Sturdom, Punishers,
Wait,
Les
we're not on the
Barons
same thing.
are all in play for the last 2 playoff spots right now. So Black Knights, Speakeasy, Tough Longs, Easy W, Process, and Bruins have all clinched spots. So 7 and 8 are open for playoffs spots to be had.
Yeah, so Punishers are out.
Yeah, Conference A, way to be boring.
So the only team that's currently out on the outside looking in is Les Barons. Les Barons has a chance to jump Sturdam or A-Town. But everybody else, Black
Will
Knights,
they do it,
the
though?
Speakeasy, Tough Lungs, Easy W are clinched.
So will Sturdam do it, yes or no?
So who's Les Barons? So Les Barons needs to win first for anything else to matter, right? Les Barons are playing Bruins on Sunday.
That's a tough game.
Yeah.
So it's not a gimme, first of all. If they lose, nothing moves and it stays the same. If they win, which Eagle, can you read it on the screen, please? For Les Barons to win, what do they need to do?
Le Baron is not on the screen here.
Okay.
Because you gave Duke the result that Conference A was clinched.
All right, so here's the thing.
Shame!
Well,
Shame!
then maybe that's the case.
All right, 2
maybe
minutes
Les
in
Barons
the
can
penalty
get
box
in.
here.
Oh, which is right. This is amazing. I should have
Oh,
trusted
boy.
myself a bit more.
What a mess.
So Les Barons cannot make it in because because even if they win and everybody else loses, their divisional record is going to remain too low for what Sturdam and A-Town has.
Sturdam have Tough Longs and Five Flamingos sent off
Yeah,
these.
even if Sturdam loses the next 2 games, their divisional record is going to remain better than Les Barons, and since they haven't played each other, divisional record counts. So Les Barons are officially out.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you
Sorry about that.
for that
Jesus.
well-detailed process here
You wasted 5 minutes.
of my life for this.
Wow, your life, okay there.
But yes, he's living his life.
I mean, he's
Right now,
here,
he's living his worst life. 'cause
he's
he-
here anyways, so I mean,
I'm
it's not
here.
really.
I'm here in the shipping container, absolutely. All right, Conference B for the division now. We know that as we speak, Takeover and Le Gros Coq are both in the playoffs here.
Hardy Martin.
Hardy Martin should be in the playoffs. I don't know why it's not
La Brume
highlighted.
and the U as well.
Yep.
Again, I blame Simon.
La Brume and the and Hardy Martin are in. Threat Level Midnight, Finessers, Fighting Flamingos, Mo Bamba, Player Recognition, and Tropic Thunder are still in contention.
All right, so I'll ask you guys right now, by the time we see each other next Thursday, will Threat, Live at Midnight, Finessers, and Flying Flamingos all be in the playoffs?
No.
Which team or teams will not be in the playoffs?
Finessers and Fighting Flamingos are playing each other.
So that's
Which
a
means
elimination
the
game.
winner of that
Yeah.
game is in. The loser will most likely be out.
Flamingos have 2 more games left, so they can still make up if they were to lose.
Actually,
And Mobama needs 2 losses. for
Actually,
playing
the
for
loser
Liverpool.
is out because Mobamba and Player Recognition are playing each other.
Yeah.
So the winner will have more points than the loser of Fighting Flamingos and Finessers.
But however,
No, but Fighting Flamingos have an extra game.
yeah,
to
have an
play.
extra game. They have 2 games.
So the only scenario that could happen is Finessers beat Fighting Flamingos.
When Fighting
and
Flamingos
then
win the
Flamingos
next
win
game.
the next game, which is why Threat Level Midnight could be falling out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Which is in the situation where Mobamba wins, Fighting Flamingos lose to Finessers but win afterwards. We'll have a 4-way tie at 9 points if Threat Level Midnight
Which is
loses.
crazy. A 4-way tie with 4 ties.
Yeah. So a 4-way tie with 4 ties at 9 points. And the divisional record for Threat Level Midnight is weak, so they could be bounced out.
Threat, Live at Midnight could make the playoffs with a win or tie. So they
Yeah.
could tie again and
Yeah.
end up with 10 points, and that would be more than enough to get them through the playoffs.
Punishers, Les Barons, Ursa, Dope Boys, Les Cacajou, Thundercats. Need help? Thank you for joining us. It's been a nice season. It's been real.
See you
Enjoy your last week. We'll see you soon.
If you come to the roadshow, Pease will buy you a pitcher. And by
I
buy
won't
you
do
a
that.
pitcher, you mean he'll buy himself a pitcher and you can have a glass.
drink and laugh
And
at
guys
you.
Can, you guys should sit down with them. All right, so we look at this playoff right now, gentlemen. Which team is the one team you don't want to face in the playoffs next week once we get going here? Either conference, A
Either
or B.
Legal cut, man. I would hate to play them just because you need to have specific things to beat them. You need to have a very fast rusher that could contain Dumnafal. If you don't have that rusher, he's going to run all over you for 100 yards. You're going to lose that game. And I don't think a lot of teams in 5B has that rusher.
Okay, so Peace, what team is out there? Is it a different team beyond LGC that is the most undesirable matchup we're going to have in the first round?
See, for me, I'm gonna sound completely like a homer because everyone knows I like these two teams, but Takeover and the Process, and like that to me would be the ideal Division 5B championship game.
Takeover process.
Yeah, I'd love to watch that game. Both teams have sort of like, explosive offenses, smart defenses, good quarterbacks. We just saw the game now.
It was a great game that they just played.
Yeah.
So having the same game in the finals would be great.
Yeah,
You used every stereotypical football like description of a prospect: smart guy, explosive on the
No,
offense.
Pease doesn't run cliches. It's not his
Correct.
thing. He doesn't use generic stuff.
I don't. That's what I'm saying. No, but the Process across the board have a ton of talent, and it's going to come down to whether Andrew Langbert can pretend to be a real quarterback.
He's been playing well, man.
He has been.
Like it's not the reason they're as good as they are is in part because of him as a quarterback.
They were this good with
Here's a
Daniel
question for
Sananen.
you.
I know
Hurt.
it sucks to say because we don't really like him as a person.
No, I love him as a person. I just look. I've seen
Gotcha.
two of their games this season, and in both games he's had throws that are great, and he has throws that are.
So here's a question.
This
for
isn't
you.
your thing, right?
But
Like you're
he's a-
learning. Like
but
it's
he's also
normal.
not. Yeah, he's not a typical
So, but, like,
quarterback. So
If he's in a game where he can mask his shortcomings and make great throws, he'll be great. And Takeover is the opposite. Ian Einheiber's played so long, he's gotten to the point where he's an established FPF quarterback. We all know he's good. And adding, that move, was it, I guess, a season or two ago, adding Vincent Benjamin next to Will Power is deadly.
All right, so here's a question
this
for
is
you
also-
about Andrew Langbert, though.
okay.
If we were to rank it 1 through 3, what's more important to him? The individual award,
Mm-hmm.
his stats, or winning a 5B title?
Well,
Give me a fourth thing. Give me a fourth thing that's not related to FPF. That might be important to Andrew Langbert.
Hockey,
Okay.
so it's
Is
one and
what
two is
format of hockey? Is it table hockey,
ice hockey.
air hockey, ice hockey?
Ice
Right.
hockey.
table hockey, nice. Well, 1 and 2 are related. He cares about the
Virtual
stats
hockey?
because he wants the award.
But
He strikes me as a hockey fan. I'm going hockey first,
yeah.
then the individual award,
Oh.
then the championship.
Ooh.
The reason why I asked this
Shots
question is
fired.
because he always
I know the
films.
individual award.
The reason why I asked this question because he films all his games,
Yeah.
right? So is he filming for stats purposes? Because someone might screw up on his stats, or is he
He's-
filming for his quarterback?
Or is it for
development?
mass staturbation?
After hours enjoyment.
No,
That's what I was
yeah.
thinking.
No, I think that
That's what I've done with every game film I've had of
When
myself.
he's doing Netflix and chill, it's film review and chill.
Yeah. it's Langflix
Nice.
and chill.
so I think that championship for this team in particular for the process championship first, but it depends on the team.
I think stats first.
I think like after stars he's like gunning for an award, whereas the process they're going for the championship because they believe they're the best team in the division.
All right, in 5A, Super Saiyans rolling with my homies. They are in the one.
That surprised me how low scoring that game was.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that question. Surprised by that though?
Yes.
Because Super Saiyans were pretty disappointed that they lost rolling with my homies.
Yeah. Well, Rolling with My Homies are a good team. They're just a dumb name. So
It's
Oh.
such a dumb name.
it's
a
so
great
dumb.
name.
There's no way that makes it on the trophy, by the way.
Yeah. Like
We'll
Why?
we'll-
Who's gonna block that?
We'll find a way. We'll find a way.
yeah. I was
Sorry,
hoping
the-
Super
the
Saiyans.
conservative
but
network over here is gonna
It's
block
gonna cost
the
me
name.
like $60, and the refs are gonna make every call against you. It's super simple.
yeah, the refs they don't. It doesn't. They're not expensive.
It's super simple.
This isn't the NBA.
Are they? But then we also don't make the same kind of money.
Correct.
As the NBA. So
That's-
it's kind of
on
correlated.
scale. Exactly. It's on scale.
No, but really, there's no way that name makes it on a trophy. We'll write something else. We'll write RWM before anything else. Sorry, Zach.
No, we're putting roll with my homies in there.
Well,
For
they're
sure.
not. They're not going to win because it's a stupid.
All right,
name.
so let's look at the playoff graph right now on our screens. as
I
we
honestly
speak.
don't think they'll be able to beat Super Saiyans the second time.
I don't think this Super Saiyans is maybe necessarily the team that they're gonna have trouble against. I think that just considering their past as a group, they haven't been playing well in the playoffs overall.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're probably the best team in the division. Consider even with Super Saiyans and like GLC and Outlaws, I think Rolling Homies is a very strong team. Problem is if they have one or two bad drops early in the game, it gets to their own head, they unravel, and then they just
Right.
give up. Or if guys miss, it happens with that team too.
Right.
Guys miss games. If they don't have their full roster for the playoffs, they won't be able to compete.
All right, here's the playoff graph on the screen right now. Conference A, from the looks of the green highlights, which I believe is
Accurate.
6,
Oh, you sent it to me already.
1
Yeah.
through 6. So Super Saiyans, Mahomies, Brothers, Tents and Hammocks, Buffalo Wild Wings, and No Show, who I believe should be in the bracket still in play for a
Nope,
playoff
they're
spot.
not.
So No Show at 4-4 will clinch over Vocation at 4-4.
Yeah, because of the divisional record.
Okay, so they'll get in. So right now we have 2 spots, if I stand correct, still open for playoff clinching this week. So
Correct.
Vocation at 4-4, who have 2 games left. Tip Top Shape 3-6, Les Voyous 3-5, Texas Rangers at 3-6. So 2 spots, 4 teams. Which 2 teams will get in by the time we're all said and done?
So whose Brocation got to play?
Brocation's next 2 games that they have left after their dismantling of No Show, as I try to buy time.
Why does he hate No Show?
I don't hate No Show.
Mogan is a lot of people.
Yeah.
You missed it last week, man. There was hot takes.
I realized I didn't miss it. I listened to the show. The thing
Oh,
is,
you missed it. You weren't here.
I realized something about Mo. His entire analysis. This is how you spell integrity. All of his analysis is based on whether or not they make his life easier as a scorekeeper.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Like, that's the only thing.
Absolutely. Teams like
He doesn't care about the
Jagerbomb, Jagerbomb, phenomenal. Love them. All right, so they Brocation have Les
Welcome
Voyous.
to Irish best Division 5 team.
Exactly. So Brocation has Les Voyous and Rolling with My Homies. Their next 2 games, Sunday and Monday. So that's a very tall task.
So the reason why this
So
is
Brocation's done.
so Brocation are playing Voyou, who are on the outside looking in.
Yeah, but Voyou good, man.
No, but that's what I'm saying. So the loser of that game. So if Voyou loses that game, they're in trouble. If Brocation loses that game, then it comes down to Tip Top Shape. Like, they're not necessarily out per se because Tip Top Shape are below them, but this is close to a win in your end game.
Yeah.
Les Voyous also have 2 games left on their schedule as well.
They both have 2 games. Tip Top Shape is in trouble.
What about Texas Rangers? They're also at 9 games. They play Saturday, 6 p.m. in Brossard. And they will need a lot of help if they're going to get in the playoffs. They need to win and hope everyone above and below them loses.
Yeah, they need to win. Yeah, it's. I don't think it's gonna happen, to be honest. In their divisional record, they won't even win if there's a head-to-head with anybody else. Tip Top Shape is not in a great spot because they're the 2 teams that are next to them have 2 games left.
Yeah.
Les Voyous, because of the divisional record, they're in a tough spot, so they need to win at least 1.
And Tip Top Shape will be done before Brocation and Les Voyous play the last game.
Which is crazy. So they'll know, do we need to win or not?
Well, no, because they play first.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Before you play the game, you'll know how important that game is.
Flame
not Tip Top Shape.
No, the other team.
Okay.
Flame Fu,
Weird.
any chance at 2
I'm
and
talking
6?
about them. And you're like,
There's
this thing you're not talking about, I'm going to just pretend it's the thing you're
somebody
saying.
has to play first.
Flame
the
Fu
worst.
at 2 and 6, any chance for them to get in?
Who?
Because
No.
they have 2 games left. They're 2 and 6. They need a lot
No,
to
they're
help.
eliminated. They're that color.
Divisional record, yes.
Yeah.
All right. A team from this conference that no one wants to face is who in the playoffs?
From that conference?
Yeah. Is it Brothers? Is it Buffalo Wild Wings? Is it No Show? Is it Tents and Hammocks? Roll with my homies?
So I think each of these teams has a flaw, but I think the least flawed is Super Saiyans because of the tallness of the people involved. Strictly tallness.
I have
They're
to
all
agree.
tall.
Like if I had to
They're
play
the Dutch
any,
volleyball team.
if I had to play any of these teams, Super Saiyan's the toughest one to play because their defense is the best.
Yes,
so if
Eagle.
your offense doesn't put up 30 points against them, you're not gonna you're not gonna win, and it's a tough defense to play against.
The biggest flaw Super Saiyans is going to have is roster availability come playoffs.
How many guys are eligible right now?
A lot, but they might be missing one of their key guys in key games.
Which guy?
Nope. That's why.
Is it? Hold on.
So
before-
let's
okay.
do
So
after.
why do you even speak? Wait,
So,
oh my God!
all right.
You
so
added no value.
This key guy, the reason why he's
Fuck outta
missing
here.
is because of schedule conflict, or is it because he's not available?
Someone's going to be on vacation.
Okay.
Who?
But just say it.
You get 1 guess each.
Jordan Allard.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Actually, he even told me.
You added no value. You are the worst journalist we have around the
Listen,
table, and I'm here.
I'm still hungover.
No one
Still
cares.
from last week. If you take his alcohol level right now, it's probably like
Yeah.
a high level.
Conference B.
All right, so here we go. Conference
0.80
B.
is
No, I hate
fine,
you.
right?
No, huh?
So
0.80
Outlaws,
is fine, right?
Outlaws, GLC, Spartans are all in. Voodoo is
80%,
in. Palpatine, are they in now, Eagle? Or they're in? Okay, so now we're
Palpatine?
left with
Palpatine.
we have
With
Ravens.
with Dark Vader.
Dark.
Dark Vader is on his jersey.
I can't believe.
Dark
We
Vader.
got Ravens, Angeletti, Longhorns in the playoff spots 6, 7, and 8. Keep it
Why-
together and big fun party mix at 3 wins each. Gentlemen,
This
who's
is a
more
mess.
likely to be out? Like I know it's a mess, but is
This
there
is a
someone that you
mess.
think is going to be out from the playoff?
I don't want to say it, so read it on the screen because we really don't want to go through
So
it.
I can do it.
Oh, okay.
So can you, by the way.
It's in
No,
the
but
chat.
like it's a mess to describe. It's going to be messy.
Ravens could clinch if Longhorns lose or keep it together, loses one of their next two, or if touched by an Angeletti loses out. I see, like, I didn't read this in advance, so I was like, or if touched. Yeah, Finding Neverland.
Hey, MJ.
Touched by an Angeletti could clinch with a win over keep it together, or a win plus keep it together, lose one of their next two games, even though one of their next two games is against touched by an Angeletti. It's weirdly worded.
That's kind of confusing right now.
Of their
Yeah,
next
yeah,
two
it's
games,
bad.
plus Big Fun Party Mix 8 loses from
Okay, here,
Longhorns.
okay, here we go. Here we
Or
go.
two Longhorns.
Let me simplify right now. Big
Loses
Fun
two
Party
Longhorns.
Mix.
Maybe.
If Big Fun Party Mix loses, they're out. If
Yes.
they
No,
win,
but they could
keep-
clinch with a win plus a loss from Longhorns and keep it together,
Yes,
losing out.
Exactly. Keep it together. Has a little space to work with. 2 games left. If they were to win out, they would be in a
Yeah.
They
strong
could clinch
form.
with a win out or 1 win plus Longhorn
Exactly.
loss.
So we'll,
Longhorns.
It's not complicated.
so we'll start with
If
the
touched.
very simple stuff. If Big Four Pioneers loses, they're done. They're out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If Keep It Together loses their games, they're also done. Nothing
Exactly.
changes.
Longhorn wins, they're in.
It only gets more complicated if then Longhorn loses and then Keep It Together is starting to win and then Big Fun Party Mix wins and
I love for touched by an Angeletti. You say could clinch with a win over keep it together, or a win and keep it together loses one of their next two games. But clearly they would have beat.
I
Touched by an
literally
Angeletti
just
scenario.
said that. I literally
Yeah,
just said
yeah.
that.
I know.
Literally just
yeah.
said that.
There's two
Pay
lines.
attention to your
Yeah.
own show.
Yeah.
I just said
But-
that.
I know. I'm just saying.
Well,
he's
I
two
don't
lines.
know if you know, because I just said it.
It's 2 lines.
Yeah.
Just said
Something
it.
he could have
So,
said. In
no,
one.
Thank
but
you.
like,
Just said it.
I'm pretty sure I wrote it with a different looking at a different team and I
Can you
just
bring
wrote
up
for
the
that
original
team.
document and see if you wrote it differently?
I can actually.
Because I'm certain that
No, I just copy pasted. No, but when I wrote it myself, I was thinking something else and tried to write it as simple as possible.
Thank you, Eagle. All right.
Anyways,
all right. So,
I don't know why I still do this.
just said it.
I don't
okay,
know why
so
I still do this.
Just said it.
I got
I-
so much shit the last time I did. this.
gentlemen, ask you this question right now. Keep it together. Big Fun Party Mix. Do they make the playoffs? Yes or no? Does either one of these teams make it? Yes or
I think Keep It Together has a good chance. I think with 2 games left and only 1 game down from Longhorns, I think that they have a really solid chance of making it big from Party Mix. I don't see it.
no? Okay,
No,
Ravens.
it's in a
touched
bad
by-
spot.
So Ravens touched by Angeletti or Longhorns. Which of these 3 teams can upset the apple cart and make some noise in the playoffs?
Ravens. Ravens are the best team that's sucky.
Yeah, but they're not playing well.
That's the thing I said. They're the best team that's
Whose fault
sucky.
is that? Is that Joel Ull's fault or?
Oh, that's the James Andrea. Their offense is just not clicking. You can't win games with 18 points.
I said Ravens.
Ravens.
Oh wow! I
Jesus,
know why I thought about
my
Spartans.
God.
I'm
No,
actually,
because I had Longhorns playing Spartans open for some reason. I don't know why.
Oh boy, this is going off.
I want to
the
go back
rails.
on vacation.
Yeah,
this
please
is going
let's
off the
leave.
rails.
But Ravens are gonna play Spartans.
No, I don't want you there. I need
No.
you to be far away.
Yeah,
from
I
me.
want you to leave.
Yeah.
Ravens are gonna play Spartans, so somewhat related.
Yeah, I think it's
okay.
a bad matchup
But
though. If that's a 3-6 match.
It's a bad matchup for both teams,
Yeah,
really.
I agree. I agree.
Because
It's
Ravens,
bad.
it-
It's worse for Spartans than it is for
You
Ravens.
just hate Spartans,
yeah.
I like
which I don't
Spartans.
understand because they have jerseys. They're organized.
Yeah,
What's
I
your
know.
problem?
I like it, but I don't think
Ravens a good team, but they tend to play down to the competition. They tend to have slow starts and sort of fight for that last drive.
I also think that like Ravens tend to be methodical and Spartans can score on any play.
If Spartans are able to score, let's say in their first 2 drives really quickly, right? They go up
Mhm.
like 14-6, and they're clicking. They go with like 4 plays.
Like
2
like
touchdowns.
if James Andrews starts like 3 for 5, 2 touchdowns instead of like 3 for 5, an interception.
yes,
Then like
he hits like a 40 bomb and then drives the field quickly, like missed tackles. Spartans are off to a great start. It's going to put a lot of pressure on Ravens. They're going to make mistakes. And this is the sort of game where James Andrews is going to have 6 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Problem is, if he starts slow, he's never going to get it.
He's a rhythm
Agreed.
quarterback. That's what he is. He's a rhythm quarterback. at
Great
that
answer.
point.
Great answer. That's all you're saying.
All right then.
Same thing.
same thing. Same.
Same Z's.
Same.
Oh, yes, like Mulgine.
Yes.
Same Z's.
Okay. So,
We're gonna get a
Voodoo.
t-shirt from Moses the same and the 2 fingers touching.
Voodoo. Do they? I know they had a crazy game with Spartans last week.
What?
It came out to the last play, which the Spartans won.
Yep.
Fantastic finish to that game here. I think the Voodoo is the team to watch out for in this whole playoff bracket on this side of the conference.
I'm a bit shocked Voodoo fell to 4th, to be honest with you.
Well, they would have been in the 3-hole at minimum right now.
Well,
if
they
that
were
game-
doing really good, and then they lost a few games back to back, right?
Frank Hayes like, don't talk about us. I told him we're going to talk about you this week.
Okay. We do because it's our job.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised Voodoo fell this far. Like, if you consider this division altogether, right? You have Outlaws and GLC who are far and above everybody else. I feel like Voodoo's right there next to them. Spartans, Spartans have been beating up on competition. Like, they've only scored 218 points in 9 games, which is very low. But also allowed on 162, which is crazy in 9 games. So their defense is really good. And then you have like a sharp drop. Palpatine, Ravens, touched by Angeli, Longhorns. I really feel like this is one of those conferences where the top 4 are just
So there's a bit of disparity then.
Yep. I think that the underdogs are not going to upset much.
So you don't think there'll be anyone from 5 through 8, whoever it is, will take out 1 through 4?
No.
So much as I hate to say it, I'm inclined to agree.
All right, then. It's now time for...
Games of the week.
Where's the imaging? Where's the imaging?
With no sound.
What imaging?
No, we said
No, because you said not to use that
Yeah,
one.
I
So
told
was
you have
gonna
to
go
use
with,
a new one.
A
No,
rocket
Eagles got his
launch, but
whiny-
it's not the same.
Eagles guy's whiny voice. No, he told us not to use
Yeah.
it.
So I said use a new one, but then he used no one.
All right, so...
Well, no, it's because I was actually looking for a good one.
It's not Halloween, bro.
I actually, you know what? I actually found the good one, but I wasn't sure if it was going
What
to
you
be
should do is
appropriate or
get
not.
the Stranger
Can you
Things
just
theme
produce
song.
the show?
All right, so let's to clarify one thing, guys. For 5A and 5B, the playoff dates have been set.
What?
So if you go onto the schedule tab of your division and click on playoff, you'll see all the
Playoff.
dates there. And once the season's done next Wednesday, the schedule will be posted up within 12 hours.
Usually.
Within
Don't
12.
look at me.
With it by Thursday afternoon, you'll have your schedule at your disposal to see where you'll play, who you'll play, and what time you'll play at. So be on the lookout for that by Thursday afternoon.
How's this for our introduction for Games of the Week?
All right, it's now time for...
I'm not
What's
hearing,
going on?
I don't hear anything.
What the hell's going on?
It's not in the headsets.
Or is this like a...
See, this is me trying to be cute and
Yeah,
not
I
hearing
know.
it.
All right, anyway.
Yes, we'll
fail.
go with
I love how you're just staring at us. There's
I
just
know.
silence.
All right, here we go.
Wait, one more time.
It's now time for...
Hey, want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Games of the week.
All right. Okay,
You want to do
riveting.
5A or 5B first?
Never again. Can we
Riveting
have
stuff,
Terry
man.
back? Can we get Terry back?
Terry was so much funner. All right, here we go.
The U
so much
versus
fun.
La Brume.
It can
The
be
U.
funner.
Need help
You,
versus...
we're also picking.
I don't care about you guys. Need help versus Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder.
Play recognition, mobile.
Play recognition.
Mo Bamba.
No Bamba. No Bamba.
Fighting Flamingos.
Flamingos.
Finessers.
No, Flamingos.
Shut up.
Honey Martin, Les Gros Coq.
Les Gros Coq.
Yes, sir.
Les Barons, Bruins.
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 Tough Long, Sturdam.
Lungs.
Amsterdam.
Lungs.
Dope Boys,
Dope
A-Town.
Boys.
A-Town.
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 No,
No, you
too late.
can't choose.
No, I can't
Right.
choose.
Bandwagon Dope Boys right here.
Orsa, Les Carcajou.
Kakaju.
Hold on. Orsa owes me
Orsa.
$4.70. Kakashu.
No, he owes you 23 cents.
You didn't pay me. You didn't pay me
yeah.
the $4.
Orsa, by the way, Orsa this week at a monster game. That snapper, forgot his name. I'm sorry,
Greece.
number one.
Awesome.
The first play of the game, he had like a 25-yarder. It looks like Pisa snapping, but you get 25 yards. Imagine.
Awesome.
You
All right,
broke like
next.
3 tackles. I have to give him some love. Orsa is a better team than I expected.
Next.
man. They're very good.
Les Gros Coq versus Threat,
Gros
Level
Coq.
Midnight.
Go cock.
Go
Yeah.
Cock.
Sturdam versus Fighting Flamingos.
Flamingos.
We did that one. Amsterdam.
No, second game.
No, it's because they played sometimes twice
Twice.
this week
Yeah.
because of the whole
Give
film.
me
No, but they played. We already
No.
picked that game.
No, we picked
No.
Sturdam against somebody else.
Wrong.
Fighting Flamingos.
And Simon, put your head down. The Process versus Tough Lungs.
Process.
Lungs.
Process.
5B.
That's
can
me.
feel
Like
bad.
with you, like.
All right, and then in Division A, we have Texas Rangers versus Tuesday Night Lights.
Rangers.
Rangers.
Voodoo Nakatomi. You can put your head back up.
Well, you said take it down. You never said pick him up.
Voodoo by 1,000.
Yes.
Voodoo.
Longhorn Spartans.
Horns.
Spartans.
Horns.
Keep It Together Outlaws.
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 Dream Chasers Buffalo Wild Wings.
Dream
Wild Wings.
Chasers.
Touched by an Angeletti Brothers.
Angela.
Brothers.
Les Voyous Brocasion.
Voyou.
Volume.
Give me la vocation.
Flamand Fou Super Saiyans.
Super Saiyans.
Saiyans.
Palpatine No Show.
No show.
Palpatine.
Palpatine.
Big Fun Party Mix 8 Tents and Hammocks.
Tents and hammocks.
The hammocks.
Keep It Together Touched by an Angeletti.
Angeletti.
Touched by
Keep
Angeletti.
it together.
Brocasion Rolling with my homies.
Rolling my
Homies.
homies.
Yeah,
Stupid
the
name.
homies.
Stupid name. Stupid name.
Rolling.
In the battle of the dumpsters, Nakatomi Survivor versus Tuesday Night Lights.
Tuesday Night Lights by 80.
Survivors.
Tuesday Night Lights by 80 points.
You guys are gonna we're gonna 1-9.
I'm gonna make sure we go 110. I'll
Uh,
snap like I did last night.
Oh,
no Show Brothers.
brothers.
We also have Tents and Hammocks, Flamand Fou.
Flamand?
Yes.
Foo as well.
And head down, Les Voyous, Tip Top Shape.
Tip top shape.
Okay, you can put it back up.
Tip top shape.
Tip top shape.
Who are you trying to impersonate?
No, he said take your head down.
You can put it back up.
It's complicated.
I feel like you'd be terrible at a game called Simon Says, even though your name is Simon.
Simon says. I didn't say that. No, Simon says it's the game. All right. Magic words, please.
Whatever happened to predictability?
Whatever happened to producing a goddamn show?
Good night, Dave Gettleman.
Just going for Lori Laughlin. Sorry?
That's a crazy story.
Yeah, I know.
I love how the daughter was on a $100 million yacht with a USC board member
I mean, with the
when they found out.
Not the board member, the board member's daughter.
Oh, yeah.
Friends. Listen, man, you can't control who your friends are.